Shut up and sit down.
Alright, so we are here for the inaugural first episode of the STS guys. I am Jeremy.
Larry.
I'm Leo.
I'm Scott.
And we are the STS guys. So basically what we're going to do is talk about anything and everything. So the most random shit you can think of. It'll be sometimes structured, sometimes not. But it's all, like I said, all in all, it's been pretty fun. Like I said, right now we're at my house. We're here for the first episode ever, and like I said, we'll see how it goes. So, you guys had a pretty far drive over here, right?
Yeah, it was pretty far.
Yeah.
First off, before we go into it, can you just say it again? Inaugural.
Inaugural. Like, fuck you, I said I've been too many beers. Inaugural.
You say
We're here for the inaugural.
Red leather, yellow leather. Like I said, this is like beer number 4, plus I've been drinking all day, so give me a break.
It's alright. I just was one of those moments.
So, like I said, you had a little drive over here.
Yeah, it was fun. Going down 51st Avenue, almost ran into a Tupperware full of shoes in the middle of the street. Shoes, yeah. Like women's tennis shoes, like Converse. It was fun. I think I hit a pair of white ones, so they're unusable.
Did you go back and pick them up so that way you could use them later?
Oh, fuck no. They're little. I got big feet. Those things ain't gonna fit me. Those are like size 7s.
Leo, you had a little bit of drive over here, right,
I did
too?
have a stretch. It took about 40 minutes to get out here. You live out in the middle of nowhere.
Fuck you, I don't live out in the middle of nowhere. I'm getting a fucking freeway.
You live in a place where it literally says, if you want hay, turn here.
Free dirt.
Hey,
Free dirt.
only on the weekends. Hey, I'm coming up in society. I'm getting a freeway less than a quarter mile from my house.
Finally.
Hey, it's just about time. Larry, you had a bit of a far drive too, didn't you?
I did. Far less impressive than Scott in his shoes. I saw cows. A lot of cows.
Hey, those cows produce some pretty good milk. I got some in the fridge. So, now that we all get to know each other and we all have introduced ourselves, let's kind of jump into some of today's topics. So, I think probably the thing that's on everybody's mind right now is Defenders.
Oh, yeah.
So, I know 3 people at this table have seen at least 4+ episodes. Some of us have finished it, and then one of us has not yet started because they have not watched any of the other Netflix series.
Because he's a lazy fucker.
Any? You haven't watched any?
I've watched. Okay, so I've watched some of Jessica Jones. I got to the part where her and see, I don't even know the guy's name.
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. They hook up.
So you got to the second episode.
Yeah, I was just saying. Isn't that like first thing?
Marvel,
She's like stalking him in the show. Like
what's his Daredevil? I got to meeting Stick. That's about as far as I got.
in the first season
In the
or the
first
second
season.
one?
First.
First
First.
season.
Oh, good
Oh,
God.
I just
God.
met Stick.
Oh, you
And I have
poor
not
child.
seen the other 2.
So here's the thing. So I feel comfortable talking about spoilers because this guy over
He'll
here.
never watch it.
No.
In fairness, I'm like 2 years out.
Yeah, you literally.
He'll watch it, but it'll be like 3 years from now. So
Yeah.
all the shit we talk about right now,
He'll
like I said,
forget.
he'll end up forgetting.
Oh,
So all right. So I know we haven't talked about this prior to, like I said, this recording this podcast, but I just want to say, wasn't impressed.
No, okay.
And I think in here before you mention it, like I said, let me just get
We all know what it is.
It's fucking Iron Fist. I'm like, Iron Fist is literally the biggest piece of shit on Netflix. Like I said, and he
ruins everything.
He should stay in that show.
Yeah. He's whiny little girl.
Yes.
So his show is bad, and he's
He's
fucking up this new show.
brings down
He's the
Defenders.
worst part of the Defenders,
Yeah.
and he's kind of the main part of the Defenders.
Yeah, he's like the main part of the fucking thing, and all he does is whine and cry the whole fucking show.
but he's a superhero.
Yeah, he can punch.
Is that his
kind
superpower?
of?
No, correction. He's the immortal Iron Fist that he says like 10 fucking times. Like so
Yeah.
he keeps on saying it over and over and over.
It's
and
like
over
it's one of those things that if he has to say it enough times, it becomes true.
So he doesn't believe it.
Yeah, he's just like, I think I'm this thing. Like, no, he has no confidence. It's a piece of shit. Every other actor in that show, it's Sigourney Weaver. kicks ass in that show.
Schooner Weaver's pretty awesome in that show.
Fucking awesome.
Like I said,
they do a great job. Every other character is phenomenal. And then you have Iron Fist. And I just want to, like... I can say I fucking tuned out of this show whenever he's on screen.
So he's dragging down the show, but is he like the main?
He's one of the main
Well,
four.
is he the Captain America of this group?
No, that's Daredevil.
that's
Okay.
I don't even know.
He's supposed to be.
I don't even know if it's Daredevil. I honestly even see Jessica Jones like as kind of like leading
more of
it.
the commanding.
Like I said, maybe it's
That's just
Daredevil.
our dynamic.
I'd say Daredevil.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd say Daredevil.
You
Right?
say
He's the
Daredevil?
main guy.
Stick set him up to be like, you're supposed to be the leader of this
Kind of,
group.
yeah.
Like they kind of allude to that he was
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Literally, I said the only thing that I said the Defenders made me look forward to is Jessica Jones season 2, and like I said, a Daredevil season 3 storyline that I'm actually kind of excited about. And I said
It doesn't involve the hand.
that
finally.
doesn't involve the hand.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're veering away from that and veering into some actual like classic Marvel stories with season 3 of Daredevil.
Here's the thing I'm kind of sad about, though, too. I was really, really hoping that Madame Gao was going to turn out to be Crane Mother, but no, she's just, I'm from Kunlun. Like, she has nothing. I want Crane Mother.
Yeah.
They, like, set her up to be that. Steel Serpent shows up, like, at the end of Iron Fist, meets with her. She's, like, there behind him, like, you're using Steel Serpent as the name of your heroine. Like, be Crane Mother. Don't fucking set it up to be like, oh, I have nothing to do with the creation of Kunlun. Like, God damn it!
That to me was kind of a misstep. I think another misstep, to be honest with you, is I think even though we only had 8 episodes, I think they could have done a way better job of like interweaving some like deeper storylines in there. Okay, like hey, you know what? The hand is one thing, is one avenue that they're going down. But hey, it's actually the building blocks for X, Y, Z, like everything else coming up. The only thing that we kind of get the hint of, like I said, is that Daredevil. You know that shot of Daredevil at the end that sets up that season 3. But other than that, like I said, it just I don't know. For the culmination of I would call it phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe on Netflix. I think it was okay. But like I said, I think the lacking parts of it, like I said, Danny Rand, Iron Fist, Finn Jones. Honestly, if they
Get
would
rid of that fucker.
if they would have cast anybody else than Finn Jones, it would have been great. And here's the thing. So I think it would have been way better, like I said if they would cast somebody else. Because I even had hopes originally for Finn Jones because, like, hey, on Game of Thrones, he actually did a great job. He actually, because like I said, we all remember, like, he was the guy, he was the gay dude on fucking Game of Thrones, his sister. Like I said, he ended up getting offed by
that made no sense.
the Sparrow, the High Sparrow, and
The
Cersei.
gay dude with the fucking thing with the sister. You real specific in Game of Thrones there, buddy. That's like every other
It was
character.
Marjorie's brother, wasn't it?
Whoa! What's
I am caught up on this.
Oh, shit!
dropping some heat over here with something
Game
Game
of Thrones
Game of
shit.
Thrones.
That's how I spent my summer. Was catching up for season 7.
How I Spent My Summer. Name of Leo's sex tape.
No, false.
No, but anyways, like I said, Larry, what are some of your thoughts on Defenders?
I think I feel very similar to you, right? I think it was okay, but I had really high expectations, right? Like, everybody compares this to, the MCU, the movies, and leading up to the first Avengers movie. This wasn't the first Avengers movie. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but, like, we've spent all this time on the characters. I think I saw somewhere there's like 60-something episodes in the other 5 seasons, and we get this. I felt like it kind of dragged on a little bit too long, a la like Luke Cage and Iron Fist. The thing that stands out, like I think it was episode 7, so you were the only one who's seen it. Episode 7, when they're in the police station, kind of decide, do we want to go fight or not go fight? Like I just felt like they just kind of dragged it out a little bit too long. Where Scott was at, like the first 5 episodes was pretty great. Yeah. It kind of takes it down from after that.
Yeah.
Well, here, the other issue I had with it was they played the Deus Ex Machina card where everyone somehow gets at the same time sent to Midland Circle. Like I feel like it rushed too hard to put them all in the same place at the same time to go through. Like the whole how Daredevil meets Jessica Jones, where he's like contracted, like just randomly showed in. Like someone's like, oh hey, like keep an eye on her. That was great, but then they're like, she's like, I'm going to go to Midland Circle. And then Luke Cage finds the fucking Midland Circle thing. And Danny's like, I'm going to go to Midland Circle to, like, yell at them.
That's exactly what it was.
At the same time, like, Derpy, I'm just going to go there. Like, everyone gets there at the same time.
That wasn't my thing. Let me know if you noticed this at all, because this is what drove me nuts about the series. So
Danny Rand's quivering lip.
No, besides that.
He's always about to cry.
So, sometimes it looked like the cinematography of it was done by like someone like in like middle school or like early high school.
The shaky cams every once in a while were just
not
like
even
they're
the shaky
adjusting the. Does anybody notice that like every time it like Star Wipes, they like try to change the cinematography between the two groups? Like it would be rap music with Luke Jones and all of a sudden be fucking black with Jessica Jones. Like you can't see shit what's going on the screen.
Now I'm confused. Luke Jones?
Luke, whatever. Fuck you guys.
Alright, so before we fuck everybody else...
Watch the show, bitch.
No, hey, before you give him a hard time, like, it looks like you're playing like percussion instruments or you keep on fucking tapping the table and pick it up on the fucking mic. So, no, it's I don't know. I think the reason... I'm just disappointed. I think that's the end-all, be-all goal of it, is I'm disappointed with the way it turned out. I feel kind of let down. Like I said, it's not that it wasn't good. It wasn't great. Like I said, it was good. Like I said, and just fucking Danny Rand and Iron Fist. Literally, I said, if they spun this off and like basically like, hey, you know what? Hey, so we're no longer fighting a hand, so we no longer need Iron Fist as part of the Defenders, and we sub someone else in. Hey, great Dynamite version. Hey, you know what? We replace Danny Rand with the Punisher, and the Punisher becomes part of that group. Done. That would be an awesome group for the Defenders.
Here's where my disappointment comes in. I was really, really excited that after the Defenders, that everyone meets up, that we would actually get a fucking Heroes for Hire series. Like, I want Heroes for Hire.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen because Danny Rand is such a little shitbag. I won't watch it. Like, okay, I will watch it, but I will bitch about it the entire time.
No, we will watch it and let's get something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. We'll yell about it, but it's just so disappointing.
So what do you think's next? So no Iron Fist season 2, right?
I hope not, but they will because it still made money.
Or is it like Luke Cage Iron Fist?
It's got to be the combination of the two.
I think actually, if they're gonna do a two, because I think those two were the lowest rated between out of Jessica Jones and Daredevil and things like that. I think if they do one, it'll do basically that team up Power Man and Iron Fist, which.
They're setting it up now in the Defenders show anyway.
They're setting it now, like hey, like you have all those lines like, hey, I don't want super friends, and you know this, that, and the other, and
they have them bro out all the time in the show, where it's just those two hanging out, just shooting the shit.
Yeah,
like they're pushing hard to make a Heroes for Hire. I mean, Power Man's got the building. He runs the old barber shop, so they got the location in Harlem. Everything's set up for that series now that they're met and they're bros now. Like, it's set up.
What did you think about the final episode?
Okay, so I know you haven't seen it yet, Scott.
I don't give a fuck about spoilers. Go ahead.
But seriously, though, I was thinking about this too. Like, there's no spoilers.
No,
there's really no. Oh my god!
Oh my god! They beat the bad guy.
There's none of that.
No, there's none of that. Except the final episode. I'm like, okay, you know what? I've watched 7 episodes so far. I'm like, they're gonna redeem it. They said it's the final battles. This, that. Well, and here's the thing: the final battle wasn't anywhere near as climactic as the original battle at the Midland Corporation when they all initially showed up.
I absolutely agree. That was my favorite scene.
Yeah.
Was the first one where they're fighting the CEO guys.
Yeah,
in their suits and ties.
And
that was
was
the best.
great. Yeah. You have dudes show up with guns. They all jump behind Power Man. He takes all the bullets, and they go back out and beat the shit out of everybody. Great. That was the hallway scene for that episode. You don't know what we're talking about, so just shut up.
No.
You look like you're going to say something. Just stop.
So episode 8.
It was not.
As he's looking up on his phone right now,
What's going on?
He literally is.
I'm trying to figure out if Daniel Rand was a cast name or is
Finn Jones.
Finn Jones is the actual actor's name. Danny Rand is the character name. Mm-hmm. Iron Fist is his fucking asshole name.
In trying to find like Devil's Advocate, I'm trying to find other things online roasting it, and it seems like most of the world seems to feel the same way that you guys feel.
Yeah, Finn Jones is a piece of shit and can't act.
So we're in agreement. We like the fight in the office building, right?
Yeah.
So the final season, or the final episode, they fight in a giant dragon skeleton,
Oh.
right? Because that makes sense.
Is it like a real dragon skeleton?
It is, right? So they have to dig the hand digs way down, miles underground. They find this basically it's like a tomb door thing that Iron Fist has to open.
That only the Iron Fist can open.
Yep, so that's why they need the Iron Fist. He does it.
What is it? I want to say Shenlong, but that's not the right one.
Kunlun.
No, not Kunlun. The dragon that he has to fucking punch its heart out, like the immortal dragon or whatever that gives him his power. So is it like that style of dragon, like skeleton?
It literally, I said, you get one far away shot of it, but then the rest of it literally looks like you're at like a fucking ride at Disneyland, where you basically have like the bones of the rib cage, like that are going around that are actually making the cage.
Jurassic Park at Universal Studios.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We're waiting for the fucking plunge down the thing.
Yeah.
You're waiting for the flume ride, to go
Ooh,
down.
I'm gonna get wet.
I'm in the splash zone. But no, it's.
So yeah, he opens it up and they show this, like Jeremy said, one shot of a dragon skeleton. They fight there. Apparently, the hand needs it because that's what's going to give them eternal life.
What, a skeleton?
Yeah, so.
I think.
So
So.
Shou Lao
Okay.
is the dragon.
They did not reference that at all.
They didn't reference that. So, you know how they brought Electra back to life?
Yeah. That little paste that looked like toothpaste that they put in the water.
Like the brown jizz looking stuff.
Yeah.
They put in there.
And it's in the water. Yeah.
No, apparently that stuff is made from the refined bones of dragons. So that's why they go down. It's because of basically hacking up this
and they're just
dragon
a fucking
skeleton.
dragon in New York.
Yeah, this dragon skeleton.
And that's what, when they remove it, is going to cause Manhattan to collapse.
Yeah, because that's how big it is, apparently.
That's the big reveal.
Well, and here's the thing. So,
yay.
and the thing too is, like I said, with the whole hey, Manhattan's gonna be completely destroyed. New York's gonna be destroyed.
It's a skeleton.
It's a skeleton of a dragon. I'm like,
how big is this fucking thing supposed to be?
I don't know, and that's the thing. I'm like, there's literally no other references to basically them destroying New York.
And if a dragon is that big, how did Danny Rand beat the shit out of one in the first place to get the Iron Fist power?
Yeah, it's one of those things where
is he punching something the size of a city and thinking that's gonna has any effect on it? Or is that a baby dragon?
Well, that, and then honestly, like I said,
Maybe that's why he's a baby with his quivering.
Yeah.
I keep on going
always
back.
is about to cry.
I keep on going back to Danny Rand. But if I had to hear him say he's gonna channel his fucking chi one more time,
Channel my chi. That needs to be a fucking drinking game. Is whenever he says channel my chi or immortal dragon fist, you gotta take a shot.
Immortal Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Immortal Dragon Fist.
Whatever.
Dragon
Fuck it.
Fist
I've been
is
drinking. Shut up. Anyways, if I have to hear him say one of those two, I do a drinking game, I would have alcohol poisoning by the end of the third episode.
That bad, huh?
It says it
So
all
was
the time.
his show this bad?
His show was worse.
His show's
It
bad.
was pretty bad, man.
No one in the show was good. His supposedly childhood friends, they just make them unlikable turds in the show. The Meachums are just turds. Yeah. And it's supposed to be. They turned a superhero movie into a boardroom drama, like the West Wing.
A 13-hour boardroom drama.
Yeah.
So what I'm
with an
hearing
occasional kung fu fight.
If you took Iron Fist out and some of the director and producers or the studio's issues, would you like the Defenders a lot better than you do now?
Oh hell yeah! If they had somebody else in that role, I think
So is
it's the actor that makes it bad. Iron Fist, I don't think would have been as bad as it was had they had a good, charismatic lead. You get somebody else in there that can actually carry that show. Finn Jones didn't carry it. He was just there for the show. No one stood out.
I'm the Immortal Iron Fist. All that stupid dialogue.
All that same dialogue. If you had somebody that was actually a decent actor, look at Charlie Cox, who doesn't say a lot, but he owns that by doing all those facial tics and trying to turn his ear towards where sound is.
Yeah.
He's acting, whereas Finn Jones just sits there and the whole time, just oh, now it's my turn to say my lines. He's not It's like
High
he's not
school
into
play.
it. Yeah, he's not into it.
Well, even like I said, I didn't even read an article about him. Like I said, he's like, oh yeah, I felt I did way better in Defenders because I was more comfortable with the fight choreography because I said he didn't know any fight choreography in Iron Fist, and so like I said, he actually. All right, so we're back. This probably first
Technical
podcast.
difficulties.
It's probably gonna sound, I said, a little potato. Just because
We recorded this on a potato.
we had to switch PCs. The mic fucking crapped out. We are now broadcasting from my office. So welcome everybody back. So we were talking about the Defenders. I think honestly, kind of like the Immortal Iron Fist, we beat that shit to death.
We beat a dead horse.
So I think honestly the next thing is probably the most important thing to talk about is the. Some of you might be familiar with it, some of you might not be. Is DC Metal?
Yes.
DC Metal
Batman.
DC Metal landed this week. So Leo, you familiar with this?
I am not. Explain this to me.
All right. So actually, I think our resident expert Scott should.
So basically, in this new version, they introduced some evil alternate versions of Batman coming in. So we have. I
This
think
is
on
a
the
brand
cover,
new storyline.
Yeah, brand new storyline. So you see, they fucking incorporate the different logos into it. So in the preview, I think they actually went through and introduced the Flash version of Batman, right? The evil Flash
Yes.
in the preview. The next one is
Wonder Woman. It looks like.
well, there's a Wonder Woman. There's a one that's Wonder Woman that's still male. I don't understand how that's gonna work.
It's
but-
basically like imagine
I think
if
it's,
Batman had spliced powers from these things. So don't think of it as like Batman and Wonder Woman.
Right.
It's basically Batman with
gets
basically
Wonder Woman's powers. I was thinking maybe it could have been Ares.
Yeah, it could have been like an Ares like.
Who's
But you
this
got
character?
so that's Aquaman. That's not Aquaman. You got Aquaman here. There's a cyborg one. This is the one that's introduced in this episode or this series is the Green Lantern version.
Because this isn't a video, Leo is pointing to an actual physical comic book that you people cannot see on the internet.
Right. So I'm saying this one is this one.
So what is this logo that looks like the Megazord face? Am I wrong?
I just got dumbfounded. We brought up Power Rangers. I'm trying to think of which one it is.
That's Aquaman.
No, this one's Aquaman.
No, that one's
So in any case, Batman's got.
Doomsday. No, not Doomsday. Is that the Devastator one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
So he's.
I think
bad,
I think it's Doomsday.
Like a Doomsday.
He's bad Batman with the powers of these folks.
Yeah.
No, there's
Symbol.
different ones. So there's six. There's actually a seventh that they don't want to bring up, but it's he's basically the Joker.
Yeah,
Is
the
another
man,
one.
the one who laughs.
The one who laughs,
Yeah.
as they call him. So there is a seventh bad Batman that shows up. So that's the new series. I'm actually really excited for this series because we actually finally get like bad guy versions of Batman. Which
Look at bad guy versions of Batman. You have Sandman that fucking shows up.
Yeah.
Like just to see how that's gonna play in,
Yeah.
like into the.
So have you opened this copy yet?
Um,
It's still in the packaging.
Well, that specific copy. Okay, let me kind of throw something into how this is gonna go. Wow, I've been drinking.
I think we all have, Aaron.
So
I think I'm on number 4
I
or 5. So.
I went to the comic book store on Wednesday because that's when that released. Literally, I was gonna have Larry pick it up. Larry went to what? You went to
I have no idea what it's called, but they only had one left, which is mine. But I wanted to get 2, one for me, one for Jeremy. That did not work.
Yeah, so because he couldn't find it, I'm like, shit, now I gotta go out and get it. And luckily that night, my wife didn't want what we were cooking for dinner. She wanted me to go out and get dinner. So I'm like, okay, I'll stop by the comic book store. Went to Jesse James Comics over in Peoria. And I'm like, okay, sweet. He has like 40 of them behind the counter. I'm like, sweet. I'm like, hey, Jesse. I'm like, give me a copy of DC Metal #1. And he's like, dude, I can't. I'm like, you have like 40 of them right there. They're already sold out. So that was 2 different stores that basically had limited copies or no copies available like by the time I went. And this wasn't like super late. So launch day was on Wednesday. I said I went probably about 6 o'clock at night, and they were all sold out. So I actually ended up having to actually turn to eBay to actually buy that copy of DC Metal #1. So it just happens to be the midnight release version. I still don't have the standard version yet. I just wanted to at least get a version of it, just so that way I can add it to the collection.
So would that be the one that you'd read, the standard version?
Honestly, like I said, with anything I read, you can read it all online.
Okay.
So
this is more of
that's what I do.
This is more of a product.
It's an investment.
it's an investment, yeah. There's certain things that I said that I'll buy, not because I said they're super important to me. It's because I can make fucking money.
Well, it seems like the notoriety on these are already pretty high, seeing as how
this is a huge event. Like it's gotten a lot of attention, and a lot of people are.
How long have folks been waiting for this since they dropped the announcement?
I
imagine it would have been dropped.
Well, there's a couple of different prequels. Like I said, there was two prequels to it. There's The Casting and The Forge. Both those books basically launched late June, early July. So like I said, that built a lot of anticipation. Where you can tell there's going to be anticipation for this series when, like I said, it's not too often that a comic book will get picked up and they'll do a story about it, like I said, in the Wall Street,
real news.
in like the New York Times.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Real news
So there's
did
actually
story on
a
this
New
one.
York Times article about, like, hey, Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo are back together again. They're writing Batman. Like I said, this is the story. Like I said, it created some buzz. And I think that's what basically kind of like had a lot of these copies actually selling out at a few of the stores. So I'm kind of looking forward to the series. Like I said, I've read about halfway through it so far.
Where little Bruce Wayne kills Joe Chill with the fucking Green Lantern ring.
Yes, so
his little background thing is actually a pretty cool scene.
So that's it's kind of retconning the original story of what actually happened to Batman's parents.
So in this story, have you read it yet?
I have not. No.
Okay. So in this story, it's in his dimension or Earth or however they're going through it. When Joe Chill kills both of Batman's parents, a Green Lantern ring happens to fly by and attaches itself to young Bruce Wayne. And he then uses that power to kill Joe Chill. And then goes off to be a Green Lantern, is the thing. And eventually he kind of turns like Sinestro style, I guess. I haven't gone through the whole thing yet either. But how he shows back up as like evil Batman is...
So how does that work then? Because I thought, and forgive me for being naive, but I thought the ring sought out somebody who was going to be a hero.
No, only somebody who has the strongest character of will.
I see.
So it's the Green Lantern ring only attaches to will, and if that is their strongest emotion. So even if like their murderous intent, like Sinestro wasn't like a good guy, but he had an indomitable will, so the Green ring chose him.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be a big story, and I think, like I said, it's definitely something that we're going to probably bring back to the podcast here multiple times as new issues drop. I'm kind of looking forward to next month because that's actually when you're going to get the individual issues of all the different kind of evil Batmen.
Yeah. Their backgrounds.
Their backstory, basically, kind of how they came to be. They're all going to be like one-shot issues, but I'm actually kind of really, really interested in picking those up because half the covers are actually done by one of my favorite Batman artists, Jason Fabok, who I paid way too much money for when I was in Las Vegas.
You funded him very well.
Apparently, they said there's 10 other people ahead of me that funded him very well too. And like I said, there would have been 10 other people behind me, but I was lucky number 10 in line in order to get that art. Yep, that's it.
Right there.
That
I had to look at the walls. I'm like, I know it's up here somewhere.
That is an original Jason Fabok sketch. So
like 11 by 17.
11 by 17. It's the funny thing is, that's actually because he couldn't legally do it with DC Comics. On the back side of that sketch, it's actually the reverse side of an actual DC Comics storyboard.
Oh, wow.
So if you actually flip over the sketch, it's actually the 11 by 17 storyboard from like a DC Comics issue.
That's pretty awesome.
So he likes drawing on the Bristol boards, and so he doesn't like sketching like on anything else. And so he couldn't draw it on the DC Comics side since this wasn't a DC Comics commission, so he flipped it over and drew it on the back side of one of the actual Bristol boards.
And was this I volunteered at one of the Comic Cons and I saw them around. Was this authenticated by one of those folks that follow people around when they sign, or just
No.
Like
I said, they do that mainly with like comics and stuff like that. This is like original art. So I actually got a picture with
him
with
doing
the
it?
art.
of him and me together, actually, like kind of like standing side by
So,
side.
when you went around with Comic Con, I don't know if you saw this, but a lot of guys, artists will just pop a booth and sit there, and you just pay them money, and they have a sketchbook, and they'll sketch.
Yeah, they just
Yeah,
draw.
so like I know the people can't see it. Like I said, I'll throw some pictures maybe if we post it on YouTube or post it on the website. The actual like where it says the Batman next to it, that's actually a separate guy that I paid $40 to. I'm like, hey, I want you to
draw the words the Batman.
Draw the words the Batman and put a bat logo in it. And he's like I've never done that before. He's like, hey, but that sounds like a pretty good idea. So I paid that guy a tenth of what I paid for the other dude's drawing. So I felt kind of bad for that. But it actually turned out way better than I thought. Like I said, it turned out pretty good.
You didn't fleece anybody. He did it for that rate. Like
True, very, very true. Alright, so we talk about DC Metal, talk about Defenders.
There's nothing going on in Marvel Comics right now that's of any care to anybody.
Well, the only thing Marvel's got coming up is, and I'm trying to figure out, I said, how exactly it's going to play out is Legacy. So that's
where, like I was saying, they did the preview with X-23 going back in time to talk to Wolverine. Like, they're trying to bank off that nostalgia with their new characters meeting the old versions of those. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, like I said, I think that I'm still reeling off the crap that was Secret Empire.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was completely disappointed in that series. Honestly, the best part of that series was seeing Cap
fucking
decapitate almost Black Widow. Like so that was like the redeeming quality of that
when
book.
he threw the Red Skull out the fucking window.
Nah, like I said, both those very, very good parts. But other than that, the series actually wasn't very good. So I'm kind of curious to see what Legacy has to hold. One of those things that I kind of like to talk about in regards to some different things we got going on is like different purchases, different pickups that we've had lately, some different things that we are into. Like I said, I know everyone nowadays has a subscription box, to one thing or another. So I do just kind of a couple of subscription boxes that I do. I do Marvel Collector Corps, the Legion of Collectors from DC, and then probably the last like 6 or 7 months, I've done something called the BAM box.
Box.
I've actually got Scott hooked on the BAM box.
Is that the Phoenix-based one?
That is a Phoenix-based company, and what makes them kind of cool is in every box there's an autograph. And I said
somebody signed something for every box.
Yes, and they're not just like shitty autographs; they're actually like pretty decent looking autographs. So like.
Do you have that Spider-Man thing?
I do have this. It's around here someplace. Like,
is that the Power Ranger?
Yeah. So Austin St. John next to the original Red Ranger. Like said, that was the signature. This one was kind of lame. This one was the Tyler Mane, the guy that played Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie.
But I forgot it was a different actor.
It's a different name. It's not Liev Schreiber.
But then they do art prints. Like this is like a World of Worlds art print.
That thing's actually pretty cool.
That's actually pretty cool.
One.
They did like a Goonies art print.
So they're not exclusive to comic books.
No,
they just really take some pop culture kind of iconic.
It's like they search out who you could get like at a Comic-Con.
Yeah,
like an artist or somebody like the Spider-Man one I'm talking about. I can't remember the artist for the life of me who signed it, but it's this great print of Spider-Man. He's all beat up, holding Gwen Stacy in like the fucking rain. The cool thing about Bandbox too is they do the level up. So they have certain versions of the item that you get. They have rare versions of it too. So everyone got this Gwen Stacy Spider-Man print, but 500 people out of it ended up getting a different variant of it that was individually numbered and like signed by the artist with their individual number on it. So I got like number like 271 of 500 of that print. There's only that many of them. I got the black and white variant.
It's signed by the artist.
Signed by the artist. It's badass. I'm framing it. I'm putting it up in my house. It's the coolest print ever.
Yeah, so it's one of those boxes too where it's got cool shit in there. It's one of those things where one month, and this is I think what kind of hooked Scott on it is 1 month they did. Have you seen Stranger Things, Leo?
No, I haven't.
Larry, you've seen Stranger Things, obviously, because I
Obviously.
think we talked about how kind of overhyped it was, but that's a story for a different day.
It was, that's covered in a future podcast. Because the sequel.
But they actually did, I forget the fucking kid's name.
Dustin.
Dustin. They did Dustin's hat. So the iconic red, blue, and white hat that's in that. He actually did a signed hat. Of the hat that he wears in Stranger Things.
I bought my wife a replica of that hat because she loves that fucking kid. I don't know why. She finds like the worst, like most pathetic child that she can find. She's like, that's my favorite. And so Dustin, the kid with like the missing fucking front teeth, she's like, I feel so bad for him. And so she loves him, and it's sad. But yes, so that is what Jeremy showed me that and was like, I'm like, all right, I'm done. The cool thing is some of their extra things that they do each month are actually pretty badass as well. Like recently, I don't have extra $50 that I wanted to drop on it, but they had where you could buy an axe signed by the dude that played Jason in the remake of Friday the 13th. And it's not like a prop axe or a fake one. It's a legit fucking just like actual like you can break down a door with this fucking axe. Like axe. It's a cool setup. So
they're based out of here in Phoenix. Like I said, this podcast isn't actually sponsored by them, but hey, it's an idea for the future. Yeah. We can get some sponsorship.
In terms of boxes too, I mean, I do the Nerd Box and the Loot Crate, which are always pretty solid choices, except they're always fucking late.
Did you hear that Nerd Block when owes like Funko and some other people
shit tons of money? Yeah, because they got a bunch of...
So you might not be getting that one anymore.
Yeah, no, I canceled my subscription when I found that shit out. Dirty Canadians. Yeah. That's all I have to say. Never trust a Canuck. Nerd Block's a Canadian company and decided they were going to get some exclusive pops and some shit, and then decided not to end up paying the company that they got the exclusives for. So, yeah, they're going to be in some trouble, so expect them to be gone. I just don't... It just gets annoying with those because you always get... Like, I was always great because it was like, oh, a free t-shirt and all these things, and now I have too many fucking shirts.
Like, oh, God, another t-shirt.
And it's like, oh, this one's a Power Ranger shirt. That's going in the fucking pile of shit I don't need.
And I think that's why I like BAM box too, is because I don't think I've ever gotten a shirt in there. Yeah. And it's actually kind of a nice change of pace. So it's just, like I said, just different things. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
different things.
There you go. Good. Yeah. You're going to try to edit that shit out, aren't you?
Hell no.
No.
So what is this? It's called BAM box?
BAM box.
B-A-M. BAM.
BAM.
BAM! With an exclamation point.
They are a locally based company.
Yeah, support local, fucker.
Yeah, support local. State 48, bitch.
I don't understand what's happening.
We're making fun of you. That's what's happening.
You're a big Loot Crate guy too, right?
Oh, I love my Loot Crates. Except they're always fucking late lately. Loot Crates are always good. They, for the price, they're pretty solid. Like I said, you get the shirt, which in itself is about the cost of what the box is. They've got some pretty cool stuff in a few of them. A lot of like plushies and shit like that. It's a solid thing that I keep getting. Like, I'm not gonna get rid of them, but there's not a lot of stuff that I'm like super excited for. Like, oh man, like they used to be. Like a year ago, I got the Los Pollos Hermanos, like
the apron, right?
The apron that was badass. There's a few other things like that you get in there that are actually pretty killer, and then lately it's just been kind of like, oh, it's just a turd. Although, like I said, Jeremy has this little Spider-Man hanging upside down from a street lamp thing, and Loot Crate had a black and white variant of that with him without the
camera.
It's called
the camera. Yeah, well, thank
Use
you.
your words.
Thank you. Thank you, Captain Obvious. So they have like their own variant of that one with him hanging upside down. That's cool. They got a lot of little statues and things that aren't the Funkos, but they're the Q-Figs. They got a pretty good like the little Hulk that's sitting on top of my kegerator. So when I'm drinking my beer, the Hulk dispenses.
Speaking of Funkos, I know there are two people in this room that have
extensive.
An obsession.
I think it goes past extensive.
An obsession with Funkos. I would even honestly say...
I'm going pee, bye guys.
Alright, we're having one person's having to break because he wants to check out the Funko conversation. But you know what? Fuck him.
It's one of the mega ones.
What? So, Larry, some big news this week for Funko, right?
Right. So first, rule number one for the podcast is we don't call them Funkos. We call them Funko Pops or just Funko. Secondly, today is August 19th, and Funko opened their new HQ headquarters store thing in Everett, Washington, just outside of Seattle. So they dropped a few exclusives that they announced early last week, right? There's an emerald chrome Freddy and glow-in-the-dark Psycho Shriner, plus a couple other things that weren't exclusive just to the grand opening. But then the surprise that kind of dropped late last night, early this morning, was that Kevin Smith and the Comic Book Man were coming to town, and Funko was going to make super limited edition pops of each of them.
Where were they based before?
They're still in Everett. They just moved downtown to a bigger, two-story...
Oh, okay.
They never had a retail store.
That too.
Yeah, so this is basically their headquarters / retail store. So, like I said, it's something they're opening up for the general public where they can come in and purchase and tour and things like that.
So I know Walgreens, Amazon, and other retailers might have exclusives. Is there a Funko exclusive Funko Pop? And that's what you're talking about?
Yep, exactly, right? So they had some that are exclusive just for today for the grand opening, and then they've announced 3 others that are exclusive that you can just get at that shop.
I see. Okay.
So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I was excited that there was going to be a Funko store, but then like I said, unfortunately, with one of the announcements for one of the exclusives that they announced was that they're actually going to have an exclusive Kevin Smith pop. As everyone in this room knows, I am obsessed with that fat bastard. To say the least, it's one of those things to where any piece of little Kevin Smith merchandise I can get or anything else that I can get my hands on. I have a couple of actually original jerseys, Kevin Smith jerseys that I've paid way too much money for. Like I said, I have books. Scott has gotten books in crates before that he's given me because he knows how big of a Kevin Smith fan I am. Larry actually just hooked me up the other day with something he got from Funko Fun Days that he hooked me up with a good price on. I got the Fat Man on Batman Funko Pop that's Kevin Smith related. So Kevin Smith has been popped again, as he says on Instagram, where he's got a limited edition release of 500, which I've already checked the prices on eBay, and god damn it, they're $500.
That ain't happening.
The good news, though, he did post on Instagram earlier today that there will be an alternate version available at his store, The Secret Stash, in New Jersey later this year, right? So the one that came out today has him wearing a Funko HQ hockey jersey. I'm sure there'll be a very similar one available within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so if there's one, I said I'll probably gonna wait for that one. If that other one ever drops in price, if I can get it sub 200, I might end up picking it up just because it is another piece of Kevin Smith memorabilia, and there really isn't that much to begin with. So if I can find something, I try to pick it up.
Yep.
It's one of those things where I'm unhealthy obsession.
So you also love the Tell 'em Steve Day podcast and that kind of stuff. Would you go for the Comic Book Man?
I would go for the Comic Book Man specifically because, I think that's the only time that you're ever going to get Walt Flanagan and Brian Johnson in a pop form.
Yeah. That's not happening anytime outside
specifically, of that. Brian Johnson, you might see him pop up in other stuff, but Walt Flanagan, he doesn't travel at all. So if you saw any of the photos of the grand opening today, you saw Mike Zapsik, you saw Ming Chen, you saw Brian Johnson, but there was no Walt Flanagan. He doesn't fly. He doesn't travel. He does not leave New Jersey. The furthest he's gotten is, they drug him to New York one time to do a live show there, but he doesn't travel. So those are unfortunately limited to 120 pieces.
Yeah.
So depending on how popular those might be...
there's not even really any on eBay right now.
Yeah, so... And my guess is there's probably 119 of those, just because I'm pretty sure they each picked up their own and brought them home with them. So we'll see if we can find any of those later on.
Now, speaking of pops here, Jeremy, I'm looking at your collection here, and when the fuck did Kohl's start selling pops? He has one here. It's a Captain America that's only at Kohl's. What the fuck?
Well, Larry, you could talk about this too.
The one store that doesn't sell anything cool has a fucking exclusive pop.
Funko is basically, so they're exclusive. They're exclusive to these different stores. Like I said, it's marketing genius. Like literally, how like I said, who does any shopping at fucking Walgreens besides like picking up their prescription? But somehow they landed like the exclusive Marvel license of carrying like basically a lot of the exclusive Marvel pops.
All the fucking Gwenpool shit is from them.
So, like I said, every different retailer has different partnerships with Funko.
Kohl's is just flabbergasted. The other ones make sense. Toys R Us, Hot Topic, all that shit. And then only at Kohl's, honestly, where they sell clothes and vacuums.
It's hidden behind one of these, or it might be in a box. Probably the most random one that I've ever seen or that I've found is 7-Eleven.
Right.
There was a Carl Grimes 7-Eleven pop.
Jesus.
That was a while back, too, right? Kohl's is late to the bandwagon. They're like, hey, gimme. 7-Eleven got in early.
Yeah, honestly, probably, like I said, in regards to, like, exclusives that are shared or exclusives that go out to different stores, probably the easiest out of all of them to pick up is Hot Topic. Honestly, the bitch of picking up something is fucking Target. I hate fucking Target.
Everyone hates Target for exclusive Target shit. We went to go get the fucking Quantum sodas.
Nuka-Cola
Quantums. We were the first people in that fucking store, and they were sold out because they let their employees buy them all before they went to the fucking shelves.
Same thing I said with Target Funko Pops. It's literally, I said, it's a gamble. Like I said, there has to be basically whoever's working that day has to be like 50 or 60 years old,
ignorant,
and basically not give a shit. That's basically not a teenager that's working at that point in time, where they steal it all themselves. So, but yeah, no, good observation, Scott. Like, yeah, it's I've thought about that before, but I've never said it out loud. But yeah, like Kohl's and Walgreens and Amazon and Toys R Us.
Walgreens at least has a toy section. Like, Kohl's has nothing.
Kohl's has a really weak toy section.
Yeah, it's like educational toys for children that no child actually wants.
Right? Your kid still walks over there, but they're bored.
It's what people who homeschool their kids shop at.
So relative to the Funko Pops in this room, Larry, I imagine you're the second collector of them. How big would be your collection? Compared to what we are sitting in, we've got 3 IKEA standing shelves.
327 that I have total.
Damn.
All in this room.
Not all in this room.
Okay.
But close, right?
Yeah, close.
So I'm bad at keeping count, but I'm somewhere in the 350 to 400 range. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, when I met Jeremy in like November, he told me he had less than 100. So I feel like he's gradually going, well, not gradually. He's going a lot faster than what I am, and I'm on the other side. I'm kind of scaling back, right? I reached 300, and I realized that I had a problem.
But Larry's gone to a couple of things where he's gone to actual, like, Funko events.
Yeah.
Like, Comic-Con San Diego, went to the actual Funko event. Like...
Yep. I've been to Fun Days 3 times, Fright Night last October, Fanatics Day Out. I'm about the toys, but, like, I've made friends this way, too, right? Like, I've got friends online that I've met in person now a couple times. You just meet up every summer and say hi for a couple minutes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's, kind of, like, why I've started to take off. I honestly don't even blame myself. I blame my wife, because...
All fucking animals...
Well, it's like I said, if there's something that's a dog
or...
you
have an
I don't know, I think
you literally have an El Kabong.
It's like 5 to 1 in here.
Yeah, it's so you got one case of random, that's her thing. But it's honestly, it's given me and her basically something to kind of hunt together.
Yeah.
And it's basically showing her to like, hey, you know what? Some of these are actually like valuable, and like I said, it kind of took her a while to warm up to the idea that comics and comic book stuff can be valuable. She's now kind of seen this side of the house too. They're saying, oh yeah, you know what? I not only have this and I enjoy it, but it also can be valuable. Like I said,
she needs to talk to my wife.
So it's
it got real quiet.
Yeah, they do.
Heather, let the record show none of us agree with that statement.
No, she needs to.
She needs to
let me buy more comic book shit.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those things where like she's like I said, Lindsay, like I said, my wife is very very accepting of my habits over time. Like I said, and
of Jeremy's sexuality.
Of course, And it's one of those things where she's like I said, we've gotten like I said, it's something that we've done together now. So like I said, so the other day, like I said, we were online. Like I said, I helped do a trade with someone for her. We ended up actually getting Sam from Trick or Treat, which is actually more of a rare one, I guess. But it's something that she wanted for her horror collection. So I ended up trading a couple things and getting him. Actually, it's a pretty decent trade to get some. So like I said, we buy them, we trade them, and do different things with them. So it's a collection that's grown. It's one of those things where, like I said, it's starting to take over an entire wall in my office. And we'll probably continue to do so.
Say you're almost at the point where you need a fourth cabinet.
There's probably about 2 more cabinets that need to be needed.
These ones are 3 deep, so you can't even see the stuff in the back.
But I see there's a couple of gaps here and there. But I mean, you're at the point where very soon that fourth one's going to show up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one thing that we're gonna slowly expand. Leo, what have you been purchasing? What do you got on the docket lately?
I've actually not been purchasing much. I've been boring in terms of spending money.
You mean happiness?
Yes. In terms of buying happiness, I've been a very sad person. I'm actually planning on traveling for Christmas this year to avoid the family. So in lieu of spending
best
money,
Christmas present ever.
I'm looking to just incidentally fly out to Seattle for Christmas and spend some time up there.
Have you ever been to Seattle?
I've never been to Seattle.
You're going to go in fucking Christmas time?
Everybody tells me I'm going to be miserable and it's depressing, and they tell me about this thing called rain. And I don't
there's not going to be rain. It's just going to be snow. And slush.
It's and one time it's slushy. It's not necessarily snowy.
Yeah. It's gross.
I'm just speaking of my time when I worked with Amazon up there.
It sucks ass.
Wintertime isn't the best time.
I grew up around it. It's not.
It's not the best time to be up there, but it's fun. And in terms of the actual rain, too, like I said, it's one of those things where it'll rain for 20 minutes, and then it'll be sunny. And then for like an hour, and then it'll rain for 20 minutes, and then it'll be sunny for like a half hour.
So you really won't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah.
Dressing anyway. Like you'll
you just gonna have to,
Yeah, it's...
Who brings an umbrella?
Gay! Well, Leo is our resident Boy Scout who is prepared for anything.
Be prepared. And I was the actual Boy Scout, and I don't bring any of that shit.
The only umbrella that I have is one...
Your Jimmy hat?
The one that you broke?
No,
So, one day, we were pretending to have batons, and Jeremy had an umbrella that he flicked like a baton, and the umbrella
goes flying across the line. Elevator level, and he's sitting there with a stick in his hand.
And this was at time when all of us are leaving. It's not just us in the building. There's all these people wondering what the fuck. An umbrella just launched across the room.
But that is the only umbrella that I actually own. I was lucky enough to get a replacement of said umbrella because I actually never want to pay for an umbrella myself. Because
why would you ever do that?
It was branded, right?
Yeah, it's a branded.
It's a branded one.
Yeah, I said if anything, I said if we want anything, you said we used to brand it. I said that's why I have camping chairs in my garage.
Tumblers.
Tumblers.
Can't be saying that on the record.
I can say that on the record all you want.
I don't know what tumblers you're talking about.
Well, luckily they said no one knows who you are.
Yeah, I was going to say that. And do you think anybody who would actually be in control of that is going to listen to our dumbasses?
We're like an hour in. Nobody's made it this far in.
Yeah,
that's true.
Everyone's tuned out. Like I said, everyone's like, fuck this. Like,
us bitching about stuff is too long.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So they ramble on about fucking Defenders for fucking 30 minutes. Like, so
yes, it was the relevant topic.
Ben Jones is so pissed off at us right now.
Yeah. If he listens to this, he's going to be... No, he's not going to be real sad because we're not the only ones saying it.
No.
And why the fuck would Finn Jones listen to us?
I honestly, like I said, it's
those random 4 guys in Arizona, goddammit.
Finn Jones. Like I said, if
You can suck my dick.
No, if Finn Jones is listening to this, like I said, I actually want to give one of our work products. I'm like, I want to create a fucking Smartline number. Finn Jones, call this number.
Right.
We want to talk to you live.
I will give you my work line. Call it. I want to talk with you about how shitty of a job you did, and I want to hear you defend yourself.
602 nut slip?
Yeah,
602 nut slip.
Call that one.
Call 602 nut slip.
Figure it out on your phone. I know you're British, so you can't really read, but it's 602 nut slip on the phone. Call it.
That is a legitimate phone number.
It is. It's active.
It's an active phone number. Call it.
It will get back to one of us.
The secretary will answer, and then that's
He might be a little saucy. Just tell him that you want one of us.
Oh shit! Oh god! All right, so we're about ready to wrap up this first inaugural edition.
Yay! He said it correctly. Inaugural.
I just had to drink more.
Yay!
We're about ready to wrap up this first episode. Like I said, it probably sounds potato quality. We're gonna get
We're
some
testing.
Like I said, we're testing this out. We're gonna get some better equipment in here. Like I said, we'll get some more reoccurring themes,
And maybe not use Audacity.
and maybe not use Audacity because no. Well, we can use Audacity.
Not use that shitty Lenovo.
We can't use my shitty Asus computer that I bought like 10 years
that's
that I bought
right.
10 years ago. Because ever since we switched to my main computer, it hasn't stopped fucking once.
Yeah,
So
Awesome.
Yeah, it's that's what you get for the Asus.
so next time, we'll maybe bring your $120 fucking
Hey,
Target
it's
laptop.
gonna be just as shitty. I'm not saying that. Not that thing. I at least will admit that I bought the $120 Target fucking HP for uses of school for the wife, and then for me to fuck around on solely. That's the porn computer.
Incognito tab on.
It's got the fucking VPN, incognito mode. You ain't saving shit. There's no lie as to why I bought that piece of shit. Alright? It's not like I was trying to get a good computer. I needed a useful laptop.
Well, then your wife finds it. She's like, I didn't think they made laptops with locks anymore. Oh, wait, the screen's just sticking together.
Hey. I'm good enough to know where to aim. Alright? I know how to crank it to the right or the left. It's back and to the left, like a fucking JFK video.
And on that note, we shall end it. So until next time, I'm Jeremy.
I'm Leo.
I'm Scott.
Larry.
Alright, we are the STS guys. See you next time.
Shut up and sit down.